Hi, I'm Kathleen Bosworth with Work Plan Learning. I'm publishing an article today that looks at the 8 key principles to have a successful implementation. I've been very lucky over the last 20 or so years to work with hundreds of learning and development professionals in all different types of businesses, implementing very small to very large learning management systems within those organizations, and helping the those project managers and doing the project management direction myself. And from that, I devised these 8 key principles that I think really are key to having a successful implementation. There was an implementation probably fairly early on in working with clients where the project manager said to me, he was also the decision maker, project director, whatever you want to call him. He said to me, or he asked me the question, is this going to be successful? I'm not going to lose my job over this, am I? And it stuck with me to this day because it is such a big decision, and sometimes, in many instances, it can be an expensive decision depending on the size of the implementation. So it is very important that it's successful, and that's certainly something that we strive for at Work Plan Learning. The most important thing with an LMS implementation is that you're successful, because it needs to, an LMS implementation does need to be successful in order for it to be adopted throughout the organization and for the organization to truly achieve the benefit. So these 8 key principles, nothing to do with project management, but they're 8 key areas that you need to make sure that you focus on, that you make part of that project implementation. And the first one is to define how the LMS will align with your organizational goals. Now, this might be something that's already been decided through the process of the LMS selection, but it's certainly important to review that once the decision is made to make sure that they are aligned. The second one is to make sure that you're prioritizing the learner experience. What is that learner going to experience when the LMS is implemented? Because there are steps throughout the project implementation where you're going to need to refer back to that. The third key principle would be to make sure that you plan for stakeholder needs. And what I mean by that is that, yes, of course, the learners are important, but you also have other stakeholders like the managers. What is it that they need? What is it then also that the course administrators or the subject matter experts might need? What are their what are the processes that you're going to use, and you need to make sure that then those processes are covered off as you're going through the implementation. The fourth area is to streamline how the LMS will exchange data with existing systems, and certainly, a lot of people call that systems integration, but I have some key points in my article to take a look at. The fifth area is to make sure that you're leveraging the LMS reports and/or business intelligence for continuous improvement. So you need to look at, what reports you need at the very beginning, define what they are, see what the LMS has, make a plan as to if there are any gaps, how you're going to meet them. Are you going to be integrating with any business intelligence tools? Something like that is something you need to consider. The next area is to focus on content curation and relevance. So it's important to know what your content plan is going to be, where the content is going to come from. If you have existing content, as with Work Plan Learning, we provide it with over 1,000 micro-learning modules. So it's important to decide which of those you may wish to have, and then organizing how that content is all going to fit together. And the two final areas really are about the communication plan. Start at the beginning of the project implementation to say, okay, at what stage do I need to communicate with someone else about what's going on? And it may be that you have a project director that you have to communicate with, but then you also need to keep, your teams informed, whether those are managers or subject matter experts, or even the learners, the employees, to say that something is coming that's going to, change their learning life at your organization. And then the final area is to plan for support, because a training and support plan really means that you're going to, again, cater to all of the various stakeholder levels, whether that be learners, managers, subject matter experts, and to define how that's going to look for them, whether it's going to be, custom reference materials, what reference materials are available, and that's a really important area to make sure that the LMS is successfully implemented within the organization, but also for ongoing support. And the article that I've written covers all of these 8 key principles and some key guidelines to take a look at. So hopefully this article will provide some good information for you. If we can be of any assistance, Kathleen Bosworth at WorkPlan. You can contact me at support@workplan.com.au. I look forward to speaking with you. Thanks. Bye.